What a doozy of a week last week,
Mm,
would you say?
true story. True story.
Yeah, if you follow along with our readings, then you would have watched last week's.
For last week.
Yeah, before last week. I'm sorry, before last
No,
week.
no. For last
Oh,
week.
the reading for last week, which was on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we had what was coming through the cards is that everyone was going to be moving through a challenge. It basically was going to be a very challenging week. And boy, did we experience that on our end. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of feelings, a lot of moving through a lot of things.
It was also very good though, because I feel like we kind of like, I don't know, some kind of switch happened. It felt really good as well.
Yeah.
But we had a lot of stuff going on. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it feels like we had a breakthrough in, amidst all of the things that were coming up for us. And a lot of what we've been moving through is feelings of worthiness, feeling unworthy or undeserving. And so, with today's card reading or this week's card reading, we're also going to pull a message from this book here. And it's not a promotional or
No, we're not
we're
sponsored.
not sponsored, anything of that.
But hey.
Yeah, we got this book by Jamie Kern Lima.
Mhm.
And it's just worthy, how to believe you are enough and transform your life. So we thought, well, let's just pull a message from that. You can use a book as an oracle as well. But before we do, we're just going to go ahead and walk through this week's cards and see what the divine has in store for us. So the first card that we have is upside down. Don't let it scare you. And it says, pessimism, uninspired, doubts, and greed. And I'm feeling what this could be is because if you experience last week being challenging for you, such as we did, then some of that is going to carry over into, this week, especially if every journey is unique. And so while others may have already cleared through what was coming up for them, you may still be in the midst of it or on the tail end of it, but it is passing and you're going to have those feelings of feeling uninspired and doubtful and just those uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah, working on that mindset is so important. So, because we don't want to live in that pessimism or that
Mhm.
complaining or that negative mindset.
Mhm. Yeah, specifically speaking to, because this is a twin flame collective reading, if you are constantly telling yourself that, well, my twin flame's not making any moves towards me. I don't see any healing happening on their end, or they're married in a third party situation, and I don't see this as going to, well, that's what you will create for yourself, right? Because you're a creative divine being, and what you give your power to, that's what will manifest. Whereas if you are focusing on manifesting your union and choosing union, that's what you will manifest. All right. The second card for this upcoming week is also upside down. And it says apathetic, wounded, unfulfilled, and divided. There's a lot of red in here as well. And, I can speak from what I was saying a little bit ago is that me and Adam have been moving through a lot of feeling not deserving and unworthy. And we didn't really have, neither one of us had very solid foundations growing up as kids. Like I had a divided family. So I was kind of shifted from home to home to home. I didn't really feel like I belonged anywhere. And then Adam had a very, you know, not like it wasn't secure, right? It's almost like you were the parent rather than the parent being the parent. And so there's a lot of foundational healing happening for everyone. And you've got to have a solid foundation for your union to come together on. Like if you are struggling to make ends meet, then that's going to make an uncomfortable situation for your union because your twin flame is you. And so if you're struggling in your life, well, your twin flame is going to amplify that struggle. Whereas if you feel very secure and fulfilled in your life, your twin flame is going to amplify that security and that fulfillment.
Yeah, I feel like also kind of like going off the last card, which, negative thinking and these things is
Mhm.
easy to have that thing, well, what is there even to care about and why should I even continue and why is this happening and kind of like giving up energy.
Yeah,
So it's important to get out of that because there is so much to life to
right.
explore, enjoy, experience.
Exactly.
So,
Very true.
mhm.
Yeah, so the third card for the week is oblivious, separate, dispassionate, and ignorance. It's just this is the, the bulk of the week, and it's really, what Adam just said is perfect, is like bringing yourself out of that mindset. And you can see,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is the negative mindset, right? Oh, I'm stuck. What is it? What's going on? I don't have anything. I'm not good enough. Which is, you can turn that around really quickly and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I see the light, right?
Yeah, and
Mhm.
you can see the guy on the other side, he's uplifted, he's positive, and
Mhm.
there's a light shining through, and
They're in the same place, really, right? So this
yeah.
is the way to view it. Like, you're in the place you're at, right? So would it be better to keep your negative mindset or limitations in that space, or would it, serve you to shift your
Mm.
perception, right? And this is what this guy has done, right? He's in the same place, but he's like, but I choose to see the light, right? And yeah, he's feeling much better about it.
Yes.
It's much, there's a, you'll have like when you do that you'll see more positive, you'll experience more positive, you'll feel better basically. So
Yeah, I feel better, and
yeah.
that's the key, is to feel better. And I feel like with the last card, the divine is really saying like, "Ah, you're getting it," towards the middle and end of the week. It says wise decision, accurate, brilliant, organized, and validated. And you can see God, your spirit guides, the divine, you have a massive amount of support standing behind you and helping you every step of the way. And they're really like cheering you on, because it's like it finally clicks for you, whether it be through watching this reading, or you get a divinely guided sign, or someone says something to you, or you watch a TFAS LPC class, like something, right, is going to finally help that click into place and whatever it is that you're moving through. And I wanted to share something too. I was watching TikTok this morning, and it was an inspirational TikTok and I had scrolled past it and I was like, wait a second, I want to watch that. So I flipped back to it, and it was this automated thing, but it said that if you are feeling alone, that is from a belief that you are feeding, that you are alone. And so the universe will conspire in your favor to help support you in that belief that you're alone. And although they're all there, all of your spirit guides and your source is there to support you, they're going to support you in your beliefs, even if it's a false belief, because you're a divine being, you have free will. And so your will be done, right? But you're actually never alone. And so that kind of made me giggle, because
Mhm.
it's like, how silly is that? But
Mhm.
then when you're ready to let go of that, I'm doing it by myself, or I'm not supported, or I'm alone, then they start to really move in your life and help you forward in your positive mindset, your union consciousness and mindset. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's good.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it kind of like ended off on a light note, right?
It did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It feels like, so like towards the end of the week, the energy, you'll finally feel it has lifted. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be at the end of the week. It can be, remember, you're a unique being. And so you have free will, and you can choose to let it go right now. Right. This is just a read on the energy, and it'll fluctuate and be different for everyone. So yeah, we're going to just turn to a random page. And that is a message from, you can receive it as a message from God. You can receive it as a message from your twin flame, in whatever way you want to take it. And yeah, just take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, I just flipped to a page. All right, so it says page number 175. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. And the first word that my eyes went to is disempowering labels. And it says the opposite is also true and unfortunately common. When the people around us give us disempowering labels, we often let them stick for decades.
Mhm.
When well-meaning family and friends give us teasing labels, they have no idea how easy it is for those labels to take root. Before we know it, we've internalized the disempowering labels we've heard from others, and more commonly, the disempowering labels we've placed on ourselves. We think that these labels define us.
Yeah, I think that's perfect because this is we take on other people's perception of us, which is they're only looking at you from the perception, from their own filter, right? So you choose what you believe, right? And if you took on that as a choice
Yeah.
back in the day and you're still holding on to it, you can make a new choice now.
Yeah, and just a really brief example is, let's say you had a parent that felt unworthy, right? And they believe themselves to be unworthy. Well, they're going to, if they're unhealed, they're also going to raise you as their child, and they're going to imprint that on you, right? And as a very impressionable, is that the right word? Make you take on, right? As a child, you take things on. You're going to carry that for yourself, and therefore you feel that, oh, I'm unworthy too because my parent is unworthy, I am too, and now I'm going to grow up and I'm going to be unworthy, right? And then you can see how that separation, that pattern, it festers and it perpetuates from generation to generation. But you're watching this now and you know that that's not true. I am worthy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That concludes this week's Twin Flame Collective card reading. Have a beautiful week ahead, and we'll see you in the next one.